How you doing, guys? This is Louis from Sam Waves in East Northport, New York. We just finished installing an IGLA PINCODE on this brand spanking new 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander. We're just going to demonstrate how it operates on this vehicle, which the concept is actually very, very nice. Even with a working key, you're not going to be able to drive this car away unless you get authorized. So we'll just demonstrate what happens even if I have a working key. The way we set up these systems, you can pretty much still start the vehicle as normal, which makes it a lot simpler on the user. It's more user friendly to the owner of the vehicle. So you just get in and start your car like normal. You basically put your foot on the brake, start the car. Here's the key. The only major difference is you cannot drive this car away until you get authorized, which means you have to put your PIN code, which could be a combination of buttons in this vehicle. For testing purposes, we did program a button that we use. Unlike some cars, sometimes you can use these buttons. Every firmware is different, or every car is different. In this particular car, it allows us to use certain combination of buttons, which we're not going to show because we're going to basically show the customer how to use it. But we're going to put our temporary code right now. Once we see confirmation like that, we can actually drive the vehicle. The car will stay running and it's not going to turn off on us. This is what happens when you basically get authorized to be able to use your IGLA on this particular car. We're just going to demonstrate what happens if you do not get authorized. So we're going to basically just pretend we got out of the car. We're going to close the car. We're going to start it like normal. Same thing. So this is what's going to happen is if you do not get authorized prior to driving away, we're going to basically shift the vehicle to be able to drive even with a working key in the car. The moment we shift, the car completely turns off. That's it. Very, very simple. Here's the best part of it. You cannot restart this vehicle. The car will not start. You cannot hear it, but if I attempt to try to start it, car will not start because we actually trigger IGLA. IGLA was triggered. So the only way to start this vehicle at this point, you got to get authorized. So once you trigger it, you basically turn the car off, put it back in park. I believe on this particular model, what happens is you have to wait a little bit to basically allow you to start it. We normally tell customers to wait till the cluster goes out. This happens to be for this particular vehicle. It does not apply to every vehicle. So what's going to happen is now we're going to wait for that lights to go out. And what we're going to do now, we're going to start the car like normal. Car started right there. But the only difference we're going to do now, we're going to get authorized. Same thing like we showed earlier. Once you get authorized, you can drive this vehicle without any issues. It just happens to be how it works on this car. We will shift the car and you'll notice the car will remain running. So that's how simple it actually works. Another nice thing about this is the way this system is installed. We did a couple additional features on it. The customer can actually still use their factory remote start to start this vehicle. We actually set up an additional feature on this vehicle. So if the customer leaves the windows down, he just hits the lock button. A few seconds later, when the doors lock, he will know that the windows were open and it would actually roll all of them down. If the car actually had a sunroof, it would do as well. This car does not happen to have a sunroof. Remote start, very, very simple. Remains same functional as it did before. So we're going to use the factory remote start. So you do not lose the ability to use the factory remote start. It still remains fully functional like it did before. Here it is. Just gonna wait till it starts the vehicle. Same exact concept. Even though we remote start the vehicle, in case this key gets relay attacked, that does not mean you can just get in and drive away. So I'll demonstrate what happens if you attempt to drive away, even with a working key and you remote start the vehicle. To do a normal takeover on this particular car, which Toyota allows you to do takeover now on newer vehicles. Normally you would just put your foot on the brake and it tells you to touch the button one time. Car will remain running, but if any attempt to be able to drive away, just because you remote start, it does not mean you can drive away. We're going to attempt to drive away, car completely shut down. That's it, we got to put it back to park. So turn the ignition off and we just wait for the cluster to go out. We can restart the vehicle again. But not only is it very, very safe on this particular vehicle, you cannot even drive the vehicle away even after you remote start. You still need to get authorized. So IGLA pretty much prevents this car from being driven. It will protect it from can injection, relay attacks, or even for that matter, if somebody has a working key for the vehicle, you're not going to be able to drive away. The only way to drive this car away, you need to have a working key and Obviously, you need to know your PIN code. That's the only way, or that's about it. If you need one for your car, truck, just give us a call. Soundwaves 631-368-8853. We are located in East Northport, New York, and this just happens to be a 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander.